This is a video to explain all the corrosion or the possible corrosion points on BMW E46, the underside specifically. We get asked quite a lot to tackle corrosion, especially when we're carrying out our Redish Motorsport rear axle carrier panel repair and reinforcement works for the hairline crack problems and the spot weld problems that they receive or can get on these BMW E46s. And whilst we're here, lots of customers do ask, please can you treat the corrosion that you see, or how much is it going to cost to treat this corrosion, because they know we do such a thorough and OEM looking finish underneath, which is the degreasing process and the paints and the sealers to make it look very original and well protected. Lots of people naturally want to extend that and say, well, how much is it going to be to say sort out corrosion here, and how much is it going to be to sort of paint the underside of the car. So this video just is an example of some of the corrosion points on the E46 underside. This is an averagely corroded underside. It's not excessively corroded and it's not a minor amount of corrosion. We see this is probably quite sort of normal. Sometimes we see a lot worse, and we've got a price list with descriptions that covers these various points that you're about to watch on the video, which show what we would do or explain what we would do on that corrosion problem area, and also prices and labour times to tackle those items whilst the car is fully stripped like this. So I'll start from the top. Battery box bracket is this area here. We've already removed the brackets on this battery box. At the rear right of the car, there's a bracket there, and a big long one here which hides corrosion, which is exactly what we've exposed now. We've removed that, which needs treating. Rear shock absorber turrets are these items up here. Small amounts of corrosion starting on this vehicle, specifically on this right hand side there. Rear arch 20mm grommets are these ones here in the rear wheel arch. This car doesn't appear to be suffering from much on those ones. Rear suspension spring perches, that's this area here. Only a small amount of corrosion in the middle here, little bit here, one area where the spring's been touching, and just some corrosion starting to break through the seam sealer there. This car is actually quite good, to be honest, because normally you can see quite a lot of corrosion around this seam sealer line here. Fuel tank rear strap brackets and brake pipe brackets. So here's the fuel tank strap rear brackets, and here's the brake pipe bracket. Again, these ones are quite good, which is nice to see. So there's only a small amount of corrosion on this vehicle. And on the right hand side, similar problem, just some corrosion there, which isn't too bad. That's if they can be treated in situ. So this car is a perfect example. We could treat that corrosion in situ with keeping those brackets on the car, because they're really not that badly corroded. However, if they're really badly corroded, then we need to replace them, and that means drilling out the spot welds all around the bracket, which are holding the bracket on tight to the rear axle carrier panel, and then we will replace them with freshly aqua blasted brackets, which mean they'll have no corrosion on them on the outside nor on the inside, and then we can also treat any heavy corrosion which is built up on the rear axle carrier panel in these crevices. The fuel tank area entirely, including forward strap brackets. Now the fuel tank area entirely is this cavity up here, which is the width of the car almost, and that's where the fuel tank lives, quite a large plastic fuel tank. So that area entirely, including the forward strap brackets, which are these ones here, where the fuel tank brackets clip into or pivot on. Those are quite common to get corrosion on them. Then we've got rear trailing arm pocket area, including stitch welding. Now here's the rear trailing arm area. This one isn't very bad. There's small amounts of surface corrosion on the inside, some starting on the outside, specifically here. And the stitch welding that we recommend is to be carried out on this area here, because there's a small split in the seam sealer on this vehicle, as are most E46s exhibiting that sign now, because of just the motion of that articulating trailing arm bush pivoting the panel, and there's a spot weld there and there, but the most outer point is at risk of moving, which is why the splits arrive in the seam sealer. and we recommend putting a stitch weld just across that line there to stabilise that pocket. But there's quite a bit of corrosion building up there, which is getting a bit deep, and some surface corrosion on the rest of the items. Rear jack-in points are these items here at the bottom of the seal. There's a plastic block on every E46, which is what we call a jack-in point. It's where you lift the vehicle up, and you start to see corrosion as the cars get a little bit older and the paints and sealers are flexing or starting to peel off. Corrosion is visible, and what we do commonly see is round about, we're seeing probably 10% of the corrosion. Actually, once you start digging and moving the seam sealer off, you'll find that the corrosion is quite extreme behind there and has travelled some distance. Same sort of thing on the right hand side here. What looks to be just basic corrosion is likely to be building up, because as you can see, I can chip that seam sealer off quite easily and keep on chipping it, and we will uncover more and more and more. Then we've got central 25mm grommet holes if they're in the original shape. So central section is this panel underneath the vehicle, and the 25mm grommet holes, to show you a good one, is this one here. That's an original grommet which is flexible, and I don't see any corrosion around that nor any seam sealer broken. But when we look to the left hand side, we see lots of E46s come in with the grommets missing, which has probably been left like that for some years, and the corrosion has started to build up. Not only that, but water has entered the cabin, which what you're looking at there is the back of the carpet, so the carpets get damp, and this corrosion just weakens the metal, which is a perfect 25mm circle, and it still looks like that at the moment, but our experience shows that a car like with this amount of corrosion on it, which is bubbling underneath the seam sealer and inside the car, actually what I've done there is just lift a bit of the floor. Yeah, our worry and our concern is that as soon as we attack this with an implement which is called like a wire wheel machine to loosen all this corrosion, that the hole, because it's so weak, that metal now, it goes out of a round shape, and that's what I've just done with my finger. It's now a jagged circle, and if I can do that with my finger, a machine to remove this corrosion is simply gonna, oh, there you go. That says everything. That's now not a circle at all. That couldn't have been more clearer if we tried, actually. So this poor chap has got a real bad problem on this car, because the moisture has been building up for so long that it's terribly stuck underneath there. And what was a perfectly good circular 25mm hole is now turned into quite a large hole. And this is exactly what I'm saying when I talk about you only see 10% of the corrosion. It's a perfect example, actually. I'm quite amazed how lucky I was to catch this on video. The customer's already knows about this problem and has asked us to investigate this area. So it looks like we may be doing something. Now this straight edge which is developing here is part of the rear edge of this bulkhead. And this section here is the underside of the floor pan. And as you can see, it's if it can crumble with just simple thumb pressure, then there's no way a machine is going to be able to take off the corrosion without causing damage to that area. So it's a real shame, but that's a perfect example of what 10% looks like on the top, like on these areas here on the jacking points. Suddenly, as soon as you start attacking them, they turn into massive amounts of corrosion because it's already there. It's just they were hidden underneath the seam sealer. So that's what we call the rear, the central grommet holes. Now that is one, if it's in its original shape, if there was corrosion around that, we could simply wire wheel the corrosion off and treat that area. But if it's damaged and out of shape, then this is a perfect example of one which is damaged and out of shape. And to do this repair, we need to go in the car, take out both front seats, center console, sill trims, seat belt anchors, and remove the carpet on the rear section, and then cut this section out entirely of the floor, fabricate, or make a template first of all, and then fabricate a panel that's just going to sit in that area, and then weld it in, and then flush that underneath the car and inside the car to hide the weld lines, and then paint and sealer it inside the car and rebuild the inside of the car. So it's quite a time-consuming process. This car luckily only needs it on one side. That side appears okay. Then we've got left and right central. No, we've just talked about those. We've got central underside, including the chassis legs. So the complete central underside is sort of what's in the picture now. It's the darker patch of car underneath, and it includes these chassis legs, which is that beam there and that beam there. Traditionally, there isn't normally much corrosion on these, but you do sometimes get corrosion around the edges of panels and where other bits of metal have been touching for long periods of time. There's corrosion here building up in this seamed section and on the ends of the chassis leg, which don't look much, but there's absolutely no point painting over that because it will just keep growing and push the fresh paint off. And that's one thing we just don't do and can't do, is paint over loose sealer, loose sealer or corrosion. Even small areas like this, we need to tackle it and treat it to make sure it's going to last as long as possible. But first, before we can do that, we need to degrease the undersides of the floor. So this is a very dirty section of the car, always left-hand side area. It needs heavily dirty and cannot be degreased with normal degreasers. That needs a fuel-based degreaser to remove that and tackle the corrosion before we can then paint and lose the paint lines behind the wheel arch liners and behind these mounts for the front control arms. All the fuel pipes and the brake pipes have to be taken off the car, and the gearbox has to be supported on a special tool, and we need to work on this area which we call the central section, including chassis legs. Then last few things that can corrode on an E46 is the front jacking points, which are hidden above the ramp leg here, but there's a plastic jacking block there that sometimes can suffer with corrosion. That one's got a small amount there, and it doesn't look much, but it may be a problem once it's started. And this side we can't tell because the side skirt's still on there. That side skirt would have to come off if there was going to be any corrosion treatment around the front jacking points. Then we've got the front inner wheel arches, including the front shock absorber areas. Now, front inner wheel arches are these panels here, including the shock absorber turrets. That side looks quite good, and this side does as well. Sometimes you get quite a lot of corrosion building up along this leading edge here, but on this car it looks very good. So this car wouldn't necessarily need much corrosion work in this area. And then the last item is the front chassis legs. Now these are the big legs that go towards the front of the car and support the front engine cradle and the anti-roll bar. Little bits of corrosion there building up, but not too much of a concern. Some on the seamed edges here, and most of that can live and carry on living life like that for the rest of the car's life and not cause any problems. But if we were doing some sort of restoration standards or explaining on a vehicle that had more corrosion, then you'd understand why sometimes the chassis legs do need work. Not necessarily because they're going to rust out to a hole, but sometimes just because people naturally want the entire underside of the car corrosion free and painted to the best standard as possible. So hopefully that video explains some of the common points on an E46 M3 for the corrosion risks, and we can work on any of those areas. They do take a lot of time, and some of them are very quick and easy, like the battery box ones and the rear spring turrets and things like that. But that hopefully explains the common points on the M3 E46 corrosion items.